Hey, English learners. Welcome back to the English Connect podcast, your go-to English podcast for learning English in a simple way. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Jason. Oh, it feels so good to be here again. Sophia, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing well, thank you. I'm really excited about today's topic because I know it's something so many learners struggle with. How about you?
Yeah, I'm great, and you're absolutely right. Today, we're talking about something that affects almost every English learner at some point.
That's right. The title of today's episode is Stop Freezing, Start Talking.
Oh, yes, and I think everyone knows this feeling. You want to say something in English, but suddenly your mind goes blank.
Exactly. You freeze, your heart beats faster, you feel nervous, and the words just won't come out.
It happens to everyone, even advanced learners sometimes. But the good news is you can overcome it.
Yes, and today we're going to share practical tips and real strategies to help you stop freezing and start speaking with confidence.
And before we dive in, I want to remind you of two exciting things.
Yes, at the end of this episode, we'll guide you through a special vocabulary breakdown. We'll explain some of the key words from today with examples and a chance for you to repeat them, so make sure you stay until the end.
That way, you can practice more after listening and really make these phrases part of your daily English.
So, in today's episode, we'll explore why freezing happens, share our own experiences, and give you actionable steps to build your speaking confidence.
And by the end, you'll have a clear plan to stop freezing and start talking. Oh, and if you're enjoying what we're sharing today, don't forget to subscribe to English Connect, like this episode, and share it with your friends who are learning English too. It helps us reach more people and keep bringing you great content.
So, let's start with the big question. Why do we freeze when speaking English?
Well, there are actually several reasons. The first one is fear of making mistakes.
Oh yes, this is huge. Many learners think, what if I say something wrong? What if people laugh at me?
Exactly. And this fear creates pressure. You start thinking too much about grammar, about pronunciation, about every single word.
And when you think too much, you can't speak naturally. Your brain gets stuck.
Right. The second reason is lack of practice. If you don't speak English regularly, it's like a muscle that gets weak.
You know the words in your head, but your mouth doesn't know how to produce them quickly.
Yes, and the third reason is perfectionism. Some people want to speak perfectly from the start.
But here's the truth. Nobody speaks perfectly, not even native speakers. Everyone makes mistakes.
Exactly. And actually, making mistakes is how you learn. It's part of the process.
So, if you're a perfectionist, you need to let that go. Accept that mistakes are okay.
And there's one more reason. Sometimes we freeze because we don't have enough vocabulary or phrases ready to use.
Yes, it's like going to a toolbox and finding it empty. You want to build something, but you don't have the tools.
That's a great way to put it. But don't worry, we're going to help you fill that toolbox today.
So, now you know why freezing happens. Fear, lack of practice, perfectionism, and limited vocabulary.
But understanding the problem is just the first step. Now let's talk about solutions.
Yes, let's start with tip number 1. Change your mindset about mistakes.
Oh, this is so important. You need to stop seeing mistakes as failures.
Instead, see them as learning opportunities. Every mistake teaches you something new.
Right. I remember when I was learning English, I once said, I am boring instead of I am bored.
Oh no, that's a common mistake. What happened?
My friend laughed a little and corrected me. At first, I felt embarrassed. But you know what? I never made that mistake again.
See, the mistake helped you learn, and now you remember it forever.
Exactly. So listeners, don't be afraid of mistakes. Embrace them. They're your teachers.
And here's something even better. Native speakers make mistakes too. They forget words, they say and they restart sentences.
Yes, Perfect English doesn't exist in real conversation. Real conversation is messy, and that's okay.
So, tip number 1, change your mindset. Mistakes are good. Mistakes help you grow.
Now, let's move to tip number 2. Start with simple sentences.
Oh, yes, this is a game changer. You don't need to use complicated grammar or fancy words.
Right. When you're nervous and your mind is blank, go back to basics. Use simple subject, verb, object sentences.
For example, instead of trying to say something complex like, I'm contemplating the possibility of, just say, I'm thinking about.
Perfect. Keep it simple. I like this. I want to try. I think it's good.
And you know what? Simple sentences are powerful. They're clear, direct, and easy to understand.
Exactly. And when you start speaking with simple sentences, your confidence grows. Then you can add more detail later.
So don't feel pressure to sound fancy. Clear communication is better than complicated sentences.
Yes, simple is smart, simple works.
Now, tip number 3, use filler phrases to buy yourself time.
Oh, this is a secret that even native speakers use all the time.
Right. When you need a moment to think, you can say things like, let me think. That's a good question. Well, actually.
These phrases give your brain time to find the right words, and they make you sound natural.
Exactly. Instead of freezing in silence, you fill the space with a phrase. For example, if someone asks, what do you think about this movie? You can say, well, let me think. I really enjoyed it.
See? Well, let me think gives you a few seconds, and those few seconds help you organize your thoughts.
Yes. Other useful phrases are, I mean, you see, the thing is, to be honest.
Practice using these in your daily conversations. They'll become automatic.
And when they're automatic, you'll never freeze again because you always have something to say.
Exactly. So, tip number 3, use filler phrases. They're your emergency toolkit.
Now let's talk about tip number 4. Practice speaking alone first.
Oh, yes, this is so underrated. You don't always need another person to practice speaking.
Right. You can practice by yourself at home. Talk to yourself in English.
I know it sounds strange, but it works. You can describe what you're doing. I'm making coffee. I'm pouring water. Now I'm waiting for it to heat up.
Exactly. Or you can imagine conversations. Pretend you're at a job interview or ordering food at a restaurant.
Yes, this helps you build confidence in a safe space. No one is judging you, no pressure.
And when you practice alone, you can make mistakes freely. You can repeat sentences. You can try different ways of saying things.
I still do this sometimes. When I'm walking alone, I practice explaining things in English, like I'm teaching someone.
That's a great habit. And you know what else helps? Recording yourself.
Oh, yes. Use your phone to record yourself speaking for 1 or 2 minutes, then listen back.
It might feel awkward at first, but it's so valuable. You can hear your pronunciation, you can notice your mistakes, you can track your progress.
Exactly. So tip number 4, practice speaking alone. It's free, it's private, and it builds your confidence step by step.
Now, tip number 5, build your confidence with memorized phrases.
Oh, this is super practical. Instead of trying to create every sentence from scratch, have some ready-made phrases in your mind.
Yes, like emergency sentences that you can pull out anytime.
For example, for introductions, you can memorize, Hi, I'm Jason. I work as a software engineer. Nice to meet you.
Or for opinions, I think it's interesting. I agree with you. I see your point, but...
Right. And for buying time, can you repeat that? I'm not sure how to explain this. Give me a second.
When you have these phrases memorized, you never feel completely lost. You always have something to say.
Exactly. It's like having a safety net. And over time, these phrases become natural parts of your speech.
Mm-hmm. So make a list of useful phrases for different situations. Write them down, practice them, memorize them.
And soon they'll come out automatically when you need them.
Yes, so tip number 5, memorize useful phrases. They're your backup plan.
Now let's move to tip number 6. Focus on communication, not perfection.
Oh, this is the most important mindset shift. Remember, the goal of speaking is to communicate, not to be perfect.
Right. If the other person understands you, you succeeded. It doesn't matter if you made small grammar mistakes.
Exactly. Communication is about sharing ideas, feelings, and information. It's not about perfect sentences.
I learned this when I was traveling. I met people who spoke broken English, but I understood them perfectly, and they were so confident.
Yes, confidence matters more than perfection. People appreciate when you try, even if you make mistakes.
And here's another thing. When you focus on communication, you relax. And when you relax, you speak better.
That's so true. Tension kills fluency, but when you're relaxed and focused on the message, the words flow more naturally.
So, listeners, ask yourself, did I communicate my idea, not was my grammar perfect?
Exactly. Focus on the message, not the form. That's tip number 6.
Now, tip number 7, increase your exposure to English.
Yes, the more you hear English, the more natural it becomes in your mind.
Right. Listen to podcasts like this one. Watch movies, watch YouTube videos, listen to music.
And the key is to listen actively. Pay attention to how native speakers form sentences. Notice the rhythm. Notice the expressions they use.
Exactly. And don't just listen passively. Try to repeat what you hear. Shadow the speakers.
Oh, shadowing is amazing. You listen to a sentence and immediately repeat it, copying the pronunciation and intonation.
Yes, this trains your mouth and your brain to work together. It makes speaking feel more automatic.
And here's a bonus. When you increase your exposure, you also expand your vocabulary naturally.
Right, you learn new words and phrases in context, not from a boring list.
So, tip number 7, surround yourself with English. Make it part of your daily life.
And finally, tip number 8, find speaking partners or communities.
Oh, this is crucial. You can't improve speaking without actually speaking to people.
Right, find a language exchange partner online. Join English conversation groups. Talk to friends who are also learning.
Yes, there are so many apps and websites for this. You can find partners from all over the world.
And the beautiful thing is, when you speak with other learners, everyone is in the same boat. Nobody judges you.
Exactly. You support each other, you learn together, and you build confidence together.
And if you can, try to speak with native speakers too. It's scary at first, but it's the best way to improve.
Yes, and most native speakers are patient and happy to help. Don't be afraid to ask them to speak slowly or to repeat.
Right. Communication is a two-way street. Good speakers adjust to help you understand.
So, tip number 8, find people to practice with. Speaking is a social skill, so you need social practice.
Exactly. And you know what? Let me share a personal story. When I first started speaking English, I was so nervous. I remember joining an online language exchange.
Oh, how did it go?
Terrible at first. I froze so many times. I kept saying and I forgot basic words.
But you kept going?
Yes, I told myself, Jason, just try. Even if you sound bad, just try. And slowly, week by week, it got easier.
That's inspiring. And that's exactly what our listeners need to hear. It's okay to struggle at first.
Right. Everyone starts somewhere. The important thing is to keep practicing, keep trying, keep speaking.
Yes, and remember, freezing is temporary. The more you speak, the less you freeze.
Exactly. So let's do a quick recap of all our tips.
Tip 1, change your mindset about mistakes. They're your teachers.
Tip 2, start with simple sentences. Keep it clear and basic.
Tip 3, use filler phrases to buy yourself time.
Tip 4, practice speaking alone first. Build confidence in private.
Tip 5, memorize useful phrases as your backup.
Tip 6, focus on communication, not perfection.
Tip 7, increase your exposure to English every day.
Tip 8, find speaking partners and practice with real people.
These 8 tips will transform your speaking journey. Trust the process.
And speaking of helpful tips, let's dive into today's vocabulary breakdown. We'll take 5 important words or idioms we used in this episode, explain what they mean, and give you examples.
First one, freeze. This means to suddenly stop moving or speaking because you're nervous, scared, or don't know what to do. Example, I froze when the teacher asked me a question in front of the whole class.
Second, embrace. This means to accept something willingly and with enthusiasm. Example, you should embrace challenges because they help you grow stronger.
Third, game changer, an idiom for something that significantly changes the way things are done or understood. Example, learning these speaking strategies was a game changer for my confidence.
Fourth, underrated. This means something that is not given enough recognition or appreciation. Example, practicing alone is underrated, but it's one of the best ways to improve.
Fifth, two-way street, an idiom meaning of situation that requires effort or cooperation from both people involved. Example, good conversation is a two-way street. Both people need to listen and speak.
Great choices. Try using these in your own sentences today to make them stick.
Thank you for that vocab boost. That was so helpful.
Yes, and to all our listeners, great work today. You've learned why you freeze and how to overcome it.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and remember, every conversation is a step forward.
That's all for today's episode. We'll see you next time on the English Connect podcast.
Bye.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.